everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. The name is Loretta Edu, and today we want to talk a little bit about the 7 principles of how marriage works. And then the book was written by John Gottman. This is the book. Why most marriage therapy fails? Why do most marriage therapy fails in our society, our community at large? They do not build trust. Why don't they build trust? Because of the way individuals in therapy views the situation at large to be. Do not understand each other. Sometimes the therapists that you go to do not understand your point of view. That brings about discrimination. That causes the therapist to be breaking down. They always bring family members. Sometimes some family members are not interested in being in the therapist section, or they do not promote therapy in their background. So when you bring each family member in that therapist section, it breaks how do you call it? It breaks trust and confidence among one another. It's even press buttons, like triggers situation that has been caused for a very long period of time. They always bring the past tense into the future. You know, some therapists, they always like to talk about the past. They don't look at the future of the individual's perspective. I can be a victim of that. Sometimes when I even go for therapy, they ask me about my past that I don't want to talk about, which is hurtful, you know. It's not everything that I want to talk about in that therapist about my past. So when the therapist asks me about my past things, I'm like, what do you expect me to talk about right now? I become frustrated and I become overwhelmed. So I just keep quiet and shift the problem into another section. So sometimes we have to watch ourselves when we go for therapists. It's not everything that we have to talk about that has happened in the past. They are always disrespectful to others' family. Throughout the sections, they become disrespectful. Sometimes they become as if they are the boss. They don't listen to the client's view. You understand? The client's view is the most important thing, but they do not understand the client. So all the time, they want to pretend as if they are in charge. No. In a therapy section, you are not in charge. It is the client that is in charge. Because at that moment, you have to correct the client, because the client is already going through therapeutic mood. So you have to be his or her coach in order to make that therapy more successful. They do not understand each other. There's no understanding. There's no mutual love, because you have already broken the trust by bringing family members into something that she and the husband is solving. You are creating more problems in the relationship. So that will not bring good relationship among the husband and the family, because there will be quarrels. That will not bring peace among each and everybody. They'll also be disrespectful. This is something that I talked about the last time. When you have to be emotionally intelligent, when you see those things coming and you don't stand up for yourself, you end up putting yourself into trauma, because they will disrespect you. They'll end up disrespecting your thoughts and your mind and your innermost spirit, because sometimes people want to do good things for themselves, but at the end of the day, your therapist, you have to choose good therapists. You have to pray towards that thing. Because if you don't have good prayer line for therapists in your marriage, or therapists in your case or your situation, it will collapse. Maybe you will be a more victim for that situation. You are going to encounter more situational problems in that therapy section. So my dear sister and brother, when you're going into therapy, please pray. Consult your art of worship, because you never know who is sitting in front of you. That's a big case in our society. Do not be a victim of too much problem in your relationship. Let's keep on exploring by exploring more myths about marriage. When we say more myths about marriage, what do we talk about? Some of the affirmation I took from the 7 principles of marriage is that communication helps strengthens the marriage. When there is communication skills, it helps to strengthen the marriage. It helps to bring good communication skills among the family, the children. Everybody becomes happy. Personality problems ruins marriage. When there is too much personality problems in the marriage, it ruins the marriage and it doesn't bring successful story. So all the time we have to learn to understand that our personality has to be at the gate. We do not have to bring our personality into the marriage or into the home. We have to build our home in a way that each and everybody will be respectful in their own coin or in their way of doing things. When there is personality problems, it breaks or it weakens connection. It brings about failure. And it's also common interest keeps you together. When there is common interest, like creating friendship, creating love story, creating togetherness, having time for each other, going out and having fun, create common interest to keep you together. Men and women are from different planets. This is what the book makes me understand. But at the end of the day, we say that women and men are not from the different planets. They are from the same planet. They were created in each other's image through Christ Jesus. Adam's rib was taken from his rib to give to Eve to become a human. So humanity, we are all from the same planet. Why do we treat each other badly? Because we do not have understanding towards each other when it comes to marriage. But when we have explaining the myth about marriage is affirmation of making marriage connected, empowered, sustained to make marriage more better. You scratch my back and what do? I scratch your back. That is what the book makes me understand. When I scratch your back, you scratch my back to make peace, to make understanding, to make love, to make storytelling, romance become beautiful in that connection of love and in that connection of marriage. Avoiding conflict will ruin your marriage. No. When you avoid conflicts in your marriage, it will ruin it. It will never be successful. It will never bring more stories to that marriage. Because when you think about avoiding conflict will ruin your marriage, will set you into a damn dope that you don't want to be in. Because sometimes marriages need to be calmed. You have to be calmed and talk about the conflict that arise. You have to be calmed and talk about the anger that rose from the marriage situation to bring peace, understanding, love, unity, connection among each other. My dear fellow sisters and brothers, let's now learn about some of the reason why I say marriage is sweet. Marriage is sweet, my sister. Marriage is so sweet. That's what the book makes me understand. I'm sorry, one more second. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is easy. When we say, why is marriage easy? We say marriage is easy because some of the affirmation that I made was that marriage is a long-lasting relationship. When you marry your friend, it becomes easy for you to understand your friend. It becomes easy for you to love your friend. And courage is also determined. There is determination, there is love, there is understanding, there is glorifying, and then there is resilience. When trauma comes, when long-lasting illness stands, there is more resilience in that relationship and peace prevails. My dear friends and family, do not lose hope in marriage. Do not lose hope in your marriage. Do not lose hope in your relationship. If you're not married like me, don't lose hope. Because don't think you are not beautiful, that you don't get a man to marry. No. Learn. Read books. Add more water into the plant you're planting for your future marriage. And think about your procreation, your generation, your lineage. And be a better citizen for your own marriage. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. The name is Loretta Adru. Have a nice day. Bye.